So Hyundai just released the full packaging information for the 2027 Ioniq 5, currently their best-selling fully electric vehicle here in the United States, and one that is manufactured at their brand new Hyundai Motor Group Metaplant just outside of Savannah, Georgia, which I actually had the opportunity to tour just a few weeks ago with Kia, given that the 2027 Sportage Hybrid is now being manufactured at that facility as well, alongside the Ioniq 5, the Ioniq 9, and other models are coming from both Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis over the next several years. So that is a very cool opportunity. I'll touch on that here later in this video. But anyways, for 2027, the Ioniq 5 is going to be mostly a carryover despite some spy photos and speculation online stating that a refresh was coming, which is now likely slated for the 2028 model year, with PLEOS infotainment rolling out with some vehicles later this year and some more substantial updates that could be making their way to the eGMP platform vehicles. We'll just have to wait and see. But there are a few color changes, a couple packaging changes that are worth noting. Pricing has not been announced yet, but that will be found down in the description below once that is released by Hyundai, and I will be able to provide that for you guys. So without further ado, let's not waste time and get right into it. So as usual, starting out with the deletions or features that are no longer going to be offered moving into 2027. There's going to be two exterior colors going away as well as one feature on a particular trim level. The colors that are being discontinued are Gravity Gold Matte as well as Sage Silver Matte. 2 out of the 4 matte colors that are available in the Ioniq 5's lineup, as well as the cargo cover that is included in the fully loaded limited trim is being removed and likely being made an accessory only option. So you'll no longer get the retractable cargo cover on the limited version of the Ioniq 5, which is a little bit disappointing given that this is the most fully loaded and equipped version of this vehicle, but that will likely still be available to purchase at a dealership via the parts counter or as an additional accessory from Hyundai. So those are the only features being deleted or removed for 2027. And in terms of packaging changes across the rest of the lineup, the integrated roof rails, the flush type, are going to be found now on SEL trims and higher, which was formerly on XRT and limited only. So now you'll get the roof rails if you're wanting an SEL trim. Previously, you had to go to XRT or limited, so a little bit of a less expensive Ioniq 5 will feature those, as well as the HomeLink mirror is now going to be only included on the fully loaded limited, where formerly it was on the SEL trim and higher. So if you're wanting garage HomeLink from the factory, that is only unfortunately going to be included on limited now, where that is moving away from some of those cheaper, lower trims. But now in terms of the color palette that will be available for 2027, now with those 2 exterior colors removed, you'll have Abyss Black, Cyber Gray, Atlas White, Digital Teal, Lucid Blue, Atlas White Matte, Ecotronic Gray Matte, Ultimate Red, and Cosmic Blue Pearl. Most of those have been around since the Ioniq 5's introduction in 2022, believe it or not, with a few new matte colors as well as Ultimate Red and Cosmic Blue Pearl added for the mid-cycle refresh. And in terms of pricing, at least for the later half of the 2026 model year, we don't have 2027 pricing yet, but that will be included down in the comment section below. The SE standard range rear wheel drive, or the least expensive Ioniq 5, including destination, comes in at $36,600. And I do have the rest of the rear wheel drive and all wheel drive pricing noted here. SEL rear wheel drive $41,400, the limited rear wheel drive $46,675, all the way up to the XRT, which of course is standard all wheel drive at $47,875, and a limited all wheel drive is $50,575. And what's interesting about the pricing of the Ioniq 5, of course, over the last 2 years especially, Hyundai has made MSRP adjustments to lower the price of the Ioniq 5 to make it more competitive in the market, as well as, keep it on a sales increase rather than kind of cut it off and keep it more expensive versus some of the competition, with, of course, the loss of the federal tax credit, things like that. And I think they've done a very good job at doing so, keeping it very competitive. But the Ioniq 5, believe it or not, is just as inexpensive to purchase as it was back when it was first introduced, accounting for the loss of the federal tax credit, so $7,500, as well as inflation that make it equal or less expensive to purchase than some of these EVs launches. Sales have been on the up and up over the last year or so, but especially this year in 2026, although it has slipped a little bit for June 2026. So looking at the sales figures, it is increased over year to date in 2025. It's up about 9% year to date. Just over 20,000 units have sold through the month of June of 2026, although Even though in May they set a sales record of over 5,000 Ioniq 5 sold here in the US, it did go down to less than half of that in June. So I'm not sure why sales are so up and down with the Ioniq 5. There is a little bit of a flux in the supply of them out there at dealerships. It's certainly a regional sales volume. Certain parts of the country, especially here in the Midwest, not selling all that many, but I'm sure there are some red hot markets on the East Coast, maybe in Colorado or out in California, Florida. There's just markets where these are selling and they're very popular, and that's where likely the volume and quantity of these are being distributed to. So we'll have to see how this year kind of pans out with the influx of 2027s, which are going to be entering production here very, very shortly. They have not started being built, but they have been allocated and will likely go into production sometime in the month of July and then ship to dealers sometime in the second half of August. Now, speaking of production and the facility in which they're manufactured, the Metaplant, like I said at the beginning of this video, I had the opportunity with Kia, funnily enough, to tour Hyundai Motor Group Metaplant as well as Kia Georgia, and that was due to the brand new, or excuse me, carryover 2027 model year Sportage Hybrid that has now moved production to Hyundai Motor Group Metaplant to likely increase supply of that model because it is a relatively popular vehicle for Kia, but also to help mitigate some of the tariffs and impacts with supply chains and things like that to bring it onshore, get these vehicles quicker to dealerships to maintain the competitive edge of that vehicle in the red hot compact hybrid SUV space that the Sportage does compete in. But at that trip, even though I was there for Kia, I obviously saw the Hyundai side of things in the production, given that the Sportage is built on the same line as the Ioniq 9, and the Ioniq 5 actually has its own assembly line at that plant currently. And it was absolutely awesome to see this plant in person. I'm so glad I had the opportunity to do so because it is truly a state-of-the-art, up-to-date automotive manufacturing facility. And Hyundai is going to be using this plant as a benchmark internally for basically every other facility that they will be either breaking ground with, updating, improving as years go on. Of course, they can't really do a lot of that integration with some of their older facilities because of space constraints and just the way that they're laid out and designed. But obviously, if they're breaking ground or expanding facilities, they can implement a lot of these automations, robots, and technology to improve production capacity, to improve efficiency, and obviously offer a better work environment for their workers, because this place, nobody had to wear hearing protection because it was so quiet inside due to the automation, the robots, the fact that obviously electric vehicles are built here, but the machinery and everything like that was just so quiet to operate that nobody was required to wear hearing protection, and the climate control in there was kept at like a crisp 65 degrees. It was absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see what other products are going to come out of Metaplant here over the next really less than 5-year times. They're going to have 10 total models between Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis. Of course, they already have 3 models there. So they have really 7 more to go, plenty of space to expand, and I think annual capacity is going to be upwards of like 500,000 to 600,000 units coming out of Metaplant once it's fully operational and up and running. And in terms of the Ioniq 5N, if you guys are curious about that, I don't have exact information in regards to what's changing for Ioniq 5N, but I do know it will be coming back as a 2027 model year because there were a few units of 2026 Ioniq 5N that were sold and distributed here in the United States, but quantities of that vehicle were extremely limited. I'm not exactly sure why Hyundai essentially skipped 2026 Ioniq 5N here in the United States, going from, obviously launch in 2025, offering just a few, a trickle quantity of 2026s, and then planning to launch it as a 2027, likely on a larger scale, likely due to the fact that maybe we have a 2027 Ioniq 6N alongside that vehicle, or maybe production changes, things like that. But just note, you will see more 2027 Ioniq 5Ns than likely 2026s sold. And unfortunately, I don't have any information in regards to the 2027 Ioniq 6N, other than the fact that it is basically going to be a very limited quantity vehicle, and it's basically going to be on a raise your hand allocation basis, which means dealerships will likely need to have either deposits or substantial amounts of interest in the vehicle to get one to stock in inventory to get allocation from Hyundai. They're not just going to widely distribute Ioniq 6Ns out there, at least to my knowledge as of me filming this video, because likely it's going to be just a niche vehicle. We're not sure pricing on it, but likely similar to Ioniq 5N. If you guys enjoyed this video and are found it helpful, make sure to hit that like button below, subscribe if you guys haven't already, leave any questions, comments, and keep an eye out for pricing down in the comment section below. And as always, I appreciate your continued support and hope to see you guys in the next one.